It's Exocolonist Day. We had a really exciting time last time, didn't we? Like, look at my stats alone. Or skills, not stats. Like, that alone tells the story of how much has happened, which is a lot. We went outside. It was very exciting. Maybe too exciting, but we didn't die. We just got a little stomped on. I think we've been everywhere we can go outside this year, which is good. That gives me some time to rebelliously, maybe I'll start a punk rock flute band. What do you think? Does that seem likely? Well, because we've been kind of developing our character. Well, I've been developing my character, Solana, and her relationships with people and what's happening. For, I guess, I don't know if I would say most of the time that I'm playing this game. Granted, I have only been playing this game, this is what, session 6? But it took a few streams, I think, for me to realize I was doing it. But it's been fun. So last time we entered hormones, and I haven't acted super rebellious yet, but I have this hormones stage that means that I will be super brave and rebellious. Oh man, Anemone would be perfect on the drums. Yes. Okay. Anemone on the drums. Solana can play flute. I feel like... Okay. I think that Dis would probably be the bassist because he'd want to participate, but he wouldn't want attention. If you are on the bass, you can kind of stand in the back. And I don't know that Tangent would allow herself to be in a band, but if she did, I would stereotype her as a keyboardist. Or perhaps a guitarist, and she would be like insanely precise. Like doing some real crazy, what is it, math rock? Proggy shenanigans, but she would be standing perfectly still while she did it because she wasn't interested in being looked at. She wasn't interested in being a performer who is getting into the like, I don't know. She would be interested in the technical aspect of it, I think. Mars, the thing is, Mars would definitely want to be the vocalist and the front person, and that would be a disaster. So it would have to be a really, really gross out there punk band to make Mars not want to be in it. So we would do that. That's what it would be. I don't know. We need a guitarist, though. Oh, you know what? Cal. Actually, no. What's going to happen here is Cal is going to be our steady, sturdy, reliable bassist, and Dis is going to be the phenomenally talented, but don't look at me. It doesn't make eye contact with everybody, just stands there in the zone and plays on his guitar insanely well. That's what it would be. That's what it would be. I think I've got that worked out. Yes. Here's our phenomenal super guitarist. Electric guitar, obviously. Yes. Cal would be our reliable bassist. Because the thing is, you want the rhythm section to be fairly reliable. I mean, if it's a punk band, you can kind of do what you're going to do. But I do agree, like, Anemone has the energy to be a drummer. And she would do backup vocals if we're a punk band. She'd just scream into shout really enthusiastically into a microphone. It'd be really great. I think that's a band right there. That feels the most in character thing. And then we can have a flute vocalist main character front person. Because that's a stereotype that you gotta have one of those, right? I don't know where that came from. See, the joke is, hey, if you follow YouTube, my band's performance in California is going to be going up on our band YouTube channel soon, which I revived. It's been kind of dormant for like, I don't know how many years. It's been a bit. So I have to figure out whether the done thing now is to put the entire setup in one longer video or to break it into individual tracks. But we'll see. Yeah, so it should be fun. I listened to my performance and thought it was terrible, but I haven't performed with my band in 5 years. I haven't performed in a rock band in 5 years. So I'm cutting myself some slack. And we'll just try to do better next time, which we're going to work on. So if there are conventions you think we should play at, please let me know so we can apply to play at those. I got a log. You can pose an unrelated question. I may or may not be able to answer it. All right. I'm going to save because I'm going to try to give gifts. Why do I have so many kudos? How did I get so many kudos? I'm good at naming things. I'm so good at things. Am I? I don't know. Oh, that's right. I just remembered there's like long-term concerns about food. And I probably should have started with, oh, it's probably the super goals. That's true. If you haven't been watching, we've gotten so many super goals lately. That's the thing. I now want to get a super goal all the time. So I think you're probably supposed to follow in your family's footsteps and do biology and animals and dirt your first playthrough, and maybe that helps the colony not starve to death. But I didn't do that because I'm not interested in biology at all. So hopefully I won't get the colony to starve to death. Look, dirt might not be a skill point, but like, that's what you do. You do dirt. That's an option. You can dirt. I'm not making this up. You can dirt. All right, let us go talk to Dis because I think we hit another friendship tier with him. So let's see what happens with that. Hopefully I don't just blow everything up. All right. You find Dis sitting in the mouth of one of the wall's drainage sewers. In wet season, excess rainwater is diverted out here so it doesn't flood inside the walls. In the meantime, it looks like Dis has set up a little base here with pillows and a stash of snacks. His alien communication device hisses with static. I don't know if I'm supposed to know what that is. He looks up from his hollow screen as you pop your head inside the drain. Hey, Solana, he says quietly, before going back to the game he'd been playing. I bet that there's multiple options here if you have high enough points in something, but I don't know what that would be. Maybe empathy. I need to get more points in empathy. Oh man, Laranja, I am not the person to ask for that. Because I got divorced during, well, at the end of my master's program, and that will affect your dating life for the next decade. But hopefully you will find what you're looking for, and have a better sense of who you are and what you're looking for with the growth and experience that comes from a master's program. So, oh my god, Chrono, did you just make up a song about dirt? I'm very impressed. That's very good. Well done. We can dirt if we want to. We can leave our friends in holes. Because our friends don't dirt, and if they don't dirt, then they may not be moles. If I were good, I would actually sing that to the tune, but I didn't. Alright. Yes! Oh my god. Okay. folks, I might have to sketch that. I want to try to draw things more, so maybe I will draw a picture of I was a teenage exocolonist punk band singing the Dirt song. Amazing. Nobody but us will get it, but we'll get it. I suppose it was kind of a slam poem, Chrono, because I'm too serious to actually sing joke lyrics very well, I think. Well, the thing is, I used to draw all the time. And then I stopped drawing as much when I started doing more music again, because I was doing music and writing. Then I've stopped being able to do very much of anything for the past few years. But I have been working on my band's cover art for the next album. And that got me drawing, well, kind of. And so I need to work on art again, maybe. Maybe I'll even try drawing stuff in an actual sketchbook instead of in Procreate. Because I've been doing Procreate a bit. Although I will say, I've started taking fencing lessons. Well, fencing, I've joined a fencing club. And I can't spar yet. Or ever, maybe. So I take photos of the people who are sparring, because we have a channel called Glamour Shots in the sparring, or in the fencing Discord. And so I post photos there. But so that means that I have like a whole bunch of photos of people sword fighting that I can use as reference for like all sorts of things. So I feel like I should just like draw pictures of characters I like who use swords, using my classmates my club mates as reference. Because like, that's pretty cool, isn't it, to just have like an infinite supply of reference pictures of people fencing? It's okay, Laranja. It's a big thing. So I started streaming before I finished graduate school. So a lot of the folks who've been tuning in for the past 9 years. Next year's gonna be my 10-year stream anniversary, which is kind of wild. But they've heard all of the drama because I went through getting divorced and trying and failing to date various people and coming out as gay, despite having been married to a man, and all of that for the past 9 years of my life. You know, I try not to spill my dirty laundry, but some of it will come out just by virtue of being my life. So, yeah, so it's been, I wouldn't say that my experience dating after the Masters is necessarily representative of what other people's experience is. But I will say it doesn't seem that you can guarantee that a relationship is going to work out, whether you date a near stranger or your best friend. Whether you try to date someone who's not like anyone you ever dated before, or someone who makes you think of someone you've dated successfully in the past before. Like, there's really no predicting what's going to happen. So all you can do is try your best to pick up on red flags or something not being what you want earlier rather than later, so that you can step out of it before you or the other person gets too badly hurt. But yeah, it is good with dating to make friends with common interests, I'm sure. But I think that makes more sense than dating off of a dating app, especially because dating apps are terrible these days. So bad. But I'm definitely not what we could call a dating expert. Yeah. Maybe if my brain starts working again, I will get to the point where it is okay for me to date people again. But right now, it's not a good time for me. So, alas. So this is in what would be a drainage sewer during the wet season, which it isn't right now. It's the hot season. Dust? So he's got his little base. And he's actually letting me hang out with him. Like, he, like, instead of being, like, upset that I'm there, he's like, oh, my friend is here because we're friends. which I like. Like, this feels like we've passed a threshold of friendship, which we have. So I can ask him, what are you playing? You haven't heard of it, he says without looking up. I made it myself. Oh man, are we gonna have like meta commentary about game development? Let's see. You squeeze into the narrow drain and sit down next to Dis. On his hollow pad is a picture of Mars, and you watched him drag a match from the sidebar and drop it on her face. Little animated flames wiggle over the picture, leaving parts of it looking charred. It's pretty crude, but you think you get the point. Does this exist as a game? Like was this a thing that like edgelord teenagers made in the early 2000s? Really? Okay. I did not play any of those. I exclusively played console games until I started streaming, pretty much. And I think Newgrounds was not really my vibe. Well, I know that they had like some animations and stuff, and I think some of them wound up being things that I enjoyed, but for the most part, Newgrounds as a whole was not a very Lauren space. So I can either say, where did you learn how to do that, or what happened with Mars? Like, Solana doesn't need to ask what happened with Mars. She thinks she knows, because Dis and Mars have had they've had, shall we say, conflict in the talent show for the past several years. So she's like, well, obviously, also, like, I'm not friends with Mars either. Mars likes Solana more than Solana likes Mars, I think. This might be Lauren's projection here. I'm gonna ask him, where did you learn how to do that? Because I suspect, I don't know, because it feels more like the right thing to do, I think. Well, we'll see. I'm sorry, I feel like I load conversations more. Did my screen just go out of focus? My camera just go out of focus? What are you doing, camera? Why are you doing this? Yeah, that's true. She has like shouted at him as she walks past and stuff. Not great. I usually try not to load things, but specifically conversations with him. I don't know. Okay, where did you learn how to do that? It's pretty simple. Oh, good, I get to ask both. It's pretty simple, Dis says. The light from his hollow screen reflects in his eyes as he looks at you in the gloom. People on Earth used to make this kind of stuff all the time. And I have a lot of time to learn new things. Huh. Okay, so it's like, yes, this was a Newgrounds thing. So the people who made this are like, we know, we were there. What happened with Mars? Dis shrugs. Same thing that always happens, he says. He resets the game, then drags a bomb from the sidebar onto the picture of Mars. It explodes and the picture disintegrates. She booked my name down for every appointment with the nano printer because she thinks my clothes are always torn up and dirty all the time, he continues. So I got in trouble for wasting resources. Oh. Mars! ... I tried to tell them it was her, but Mars never gets in trouble. Everyone likes her, he mumbles. But it's fine. I don't need anyone to like me. I don't care if they hate me. I hate them. This poor kid. Mars, that's the thing, is like, Mars is self-important, but she's also a bully, and I'm not a big fan of that. So, I will say, oh, I see. Dis goes back to playing his game, content not to talk to you. So I can either say, I want to try, or that's really unhinged, you need help, or why don't you just talk to Mars instead? Mars is a bully. Dis may be weird, but he's my weird friend and my crush's twin brother. He's not a bad kid. And Mars kind of is. From Solana's perspective, Mars is a bully. And I can't seem to... I've tried being mean to Mars, and she somehow manages to like me because of it. So I don't know what her deal is. So, like, man, screw Mars. If Dis wants to, like, take out his frustrations in this badly made little Flash game that he's created, yeah. Screw those adults, too, for not sticking up for him against the bully. He's not alone. He doesn't have to hate everyone. I'm on his side, and I'll try to help. So, I'm gonna say, I want to try. Sure, Dis replies. He links his hollow palm to yours, and you feel the haptics pulse as the game files transfer. You open the game and are presented with an option. Whose picture do you choose? Mars? Definitely Mars. Anemone or my mom? Okay, so the way that we've played Solana as, like, at the festival, she was mad at her mom, but she was like, maybe I'm hangry, and then she ate, and she was like, oh, I was hangry. And I think blowing up her mom's face, it feels like a little bit too much right now. Like, she's mad at her mom for existing because she's a teenager. I don't know if we have any teenagers in the audience. You probably shouldn't tell me if you are. But no offense. But when you are a teenager, you do have a harder time with emotional regulation, and things do tend to feel personally attacking that aren't intended that way, I think, by other people, leading to all sorts of explosions that are not fun for anyone. But yeah, so Mars is the villain of the piece right now. She's the bully. He's been blowing up Mars. I can blow up Mars too. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Yeah, Mars. Definitely Mars. I like that there's the definitely there. Like, that's clearly the right answer here. Blue Glass, it might be that Anemone is not the default answer there, that it's just whoever you're not friends with. You load up a picture of Mars. Screw her. That's what I said. She's so bossy and mean. Dis is right. She's the worst. Yeah! You drag a knife. Oh, shoot. You drag a knife from the toolbox onto the picture. Thwunk. Right through the face. It feels good. In a weird way. You probably shouldn't think about that too hard. I'm better friends with this because I'm mad at Mars. You spend a few hours letting off steam with Dis, loading different pictures of your classmates and commiserating about life in the colony. After a while, he even starts to smile a little bit. I don't really want to hurt anyone, Dis confides in you. Sometimes it feels like I have so many angry thoughts inside my head, there's no room for anything else. He turns off his hollow palm and looks down at his hands. Even if it makes me feel kind of gross after, it's better than feeling numb. Oh, kiddo. Tangent and Dis are both really poorly adjusted. So I'm gonna meddle as well as a teenager can. By getting more rebellious. Yeah, working on it. Well, that was exciting. Okay. Anyway, let's go talk to everyone else, shall we? Oh, I can give Cal something. I've got some roots. I've got a log. I can give Cal a log. Oh, Chrono. I think that one might have been my favorite of all of them. of all of the really stupid G.I. Joe things that we thought were the peak of humor in 2002, 2003. I think give him the stick. Don't give him the stick. Was probably the one that I thought was funniest. Because it's the most random. Oh, incredible. Well, I'm glad that they hold up better. I have been kind of afraid to watch them again, I'm not gonna lie. Because a lot of humor from that era has not aged well. Also, hi, Blues! We're gonna give Cal a mushroom log. So, let's do that. Neat, Cal exclaims. I don't know what it is, but I love it. Thank you. All right, Cal, we're working on it. Yeah, see, and like weird and random is my idea of funny. Like, I like weird and random. That's good humor. All right. Tangent says, the brain requires a nearly continuous supply of glucose. Tange says, glucose is commonly found in foods we register as sweet, which is why humanity has evolved to crave foods that are high in sugar. Tange looks up from her holopad with a thoughtful look. I have very little desire for sweetness, she muses. Does that mean my brain is more efficient than that of other humans? I don't know. Kiddo, I don't know. The pork chop sandwiches one is also good. But I think just the randomness of the stick one. I don't know, man. Yeah, like the thing is, like, it's just all really good. All really good. Those comedy bits. Like, there's some really good lines there. If anyone here is under the age of, like, I'm wanting to say 32 or so. You may or may not know what we're talking about. Maybe you do. Maybe that kind of humor has lived on. Okay, so I have some things that I can do. No, not that one. This one. Oh, I want to be better friends. Why am I not better friends with Anemone than I am Mars? Because I keep trying to be mean to Mars and she likes it. Oh, Tammy. I'm doing pretty well with my friendship with Dis. Doing pretty well with my friendship with Tangent. It's okay, Sugar King. It's just, there was an entire era of humor for a generation. So, let's see. 13 years old, a keen learner thanks to the hyperactive neurons in your brain. You love to make stuff and you get good grades in engineering class. Like, that's the thing is, right now, like, I want to get some more points in creativity because I like it and my creativity is like through the roof and it's ridiculous. It feels like getting more points in engineering would probably be good for the colony. I don't want us to starve. As Lauren, I don't want us to starve. As Solana, man, screw the system. I'm gonna go play my flute. Let's go do that. You ready to go play some flute? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Where's my bravery? Oh, I'm getting kind of brave. That's, I'm sure, gonna be really good for me. Space flute time! Yeah! Teenage angst in space. Practice phono. Oh, shoot! I do not have the points for this. You're relaxing after hours when Antecedent pops her head into the lounge. The kitchen, she announces in an artificially sweet voice, is looking for someone to help with part-time cooking duties. Someone young, someone responsible, someone organized. Someone, she stares pointedly at the teens in the room, who might have too much free time on their hands. Oh, you can unlock cooking as an option. So there's going to be like just a whole bunch of things you can start doing. Well, that's interesting. I wonder what cooking gives you skills in. I cannot volunteer because I do not have any points in organizing. I'm not organized. That's in character. No, Chrono, it's all good. I'll either figure it out or I won't. I'm going to avoid eye contact with her. Sweating away over humid food nanoprinters really isn't your thing, so you hang back. Antecedent sighs and rubs her hands on her apron. Well, if anyone changes their mind, I could use the help. I'm gonna get to work. Playing the photo phonor. 5 kudos if total equals goal. Oh, 20. Okay, I can do that. Oh, I should probably change away from my gun flamethrower thing. I should probably put something else on, but I did get an instant super goal. In my defense, they kind of set it up for me. Some interesting memories we've got going on here, though. All right, super goal time. I'm sorry. No, this is me. This is not Mars twice. This is me destroying Mars at the talent show twice. I was the talent show champion, not her. This is my victory over Mars, fueling me to a victory on my flute. All right, win. I got 5 points. 5 points of creativity. Why did I get 5 points of creativity? Why did that happen? Oh, my kudos are being doubled. My goodness. Maybe I should have gotten 5 kudos there. Yeah, when you hover over them, you can see the artist, which is neat. It is a good touch. All right, well, my bravery will slowly go up. My stress... Wait, I feel like my stress went up less this time than my stress usually does. Okay. I'm fairly brave. Okay. Done. Mid dust. I was right, it is dust. Late dust. Okay. All right. Is anybody gonna talk to me? Is anything going on here? I'm gonna max out my creativity stat. It's not very practical. But, you know, it's fine. Sure, we'll do stabby stab in the face. That sounds great. Yeah, see, Mars is absolutely a bully. Okay, well. Do I want to put more points into... No, not you. Don't want to put any points into you. Do I want to put more points into Tangent? Can I give her another one? No, not yet. Too soon to give another gift. Well, as far as the colony is concerned, it's pretty impractical, I think. Still too soon. Okay, well. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? All events have respawned. 2 collectibles remaining. It's fine. I don't think I need to do that again for those. Like, how much do I care about those collectibles? Yeah, I'm actually gonna... The hat is going on. Is it ever worth it to spend another month going in there to get the... Okay, there'll always be more collectibles. Okay, sweet. That's kind of what I figured. Because you're not gonna have all the extra stuff you unlock there. My perception has gone way up, though, so that's pretty good. But I already did the boss fight, right? Because it says there's no more events remaining, right? So I did the boss fight, right? Right. Okay. A stick and a crystal. Okay. All right. Well, in that case, what am I gonna do? Character traits. What am I gonna do? I want to be able to make my empathy go up, but that there's not just a thing you can practice to do that I have access to. Persuasion, creativity, bravery is pretty good. Reasoning, yeah. So I'm missing like what, 26 points? If I continue to max out stuff with that, like if I continue to get 5 points, that's not too impossible to think that I might become the most creative person that has ever lived. We're just gonna take a look at what our options here. We're not gonna relax on the walls yet. Lookout duty. No. Defense training, no. Play sports ball, no. I don't need bravery. And I don't care enough about toughness. I'll get this later. Well, I don't have the whole decade left. I have what's left of the decade. Okay, we've got life sciences. No thanks. Engineering. Or humanities. I could get more persuasion. Like, the thing is, studying engineering feels like what I should do. It feels like it would be smart to do that. But I kind of want to just say screw it and I'll go play my flute some more. Or I could study humanities. Be like, what is the truth? Okay, no. So I don't actually know, like, from like a metagame perspective, I don't actually know what it is that I want to do. So what would Solana want to do? I think that's because she's kind of getting sort of tired, but she's not fully tired yet. They are good about changing out the portraits depending on your mood. Yeah, like studying feels a little too good. I might just blow everything off to go play flute. Like, delivering supplies and working in the depot, I don't want a friendship with Mars. Persuasion is useful. I don't care about organizing. I could be better than her at that too, that's true. Yes, I one-upped her at the talent show. Now I'm gonna one-up her at her job. Amazing. I could see, this is what I'm talking about. Dirt. 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 I could dirt. I love Cal, but I don't want to dirt. Man. Yeah, so there's nothing else to do here. Like, the thing is, I don't know that Solana's feeling rebellious. I don't know that she wants to go work for the most goody two-shoes job there is to do. Folks, this is really bad. This is super bad. I need to get us more food. I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do. I'm actually kind of concerned. I legitimately think I might get the colony killed. I think that I might let them all starve to death. If I weren't hormonal angry teenager right now, I would potentially go work in the garden to try to not die. But it just doesn't seem like the in-character thing to do. Even when she was a goody two-shoes, she was like, I'm gonna study. Maybe if I work in the depot or deliver supplies, I will overhear and learn about things. What's really going on in the colony? I don't trust the adults to tell us the truth. Yeah, like I can spy on the adults and Mars. But in that case, like skills-wise, I'm more interested in getting more points in persuasion than I am in perception. I'm gonna get perception anyway. But delivering supplies does kind of feel like it might be more likely to get me the eavesdropping that I want. Because if I work in the depot, they come to me and I sell them stuff. If I deliver supplies, I get a sense for what's going on out there. This may not be even remotely what the people who created this game have in mind for what's happening here, but... And like, part of me feels like, oh, is it dumb for me to stretch myself too thin? But I feel like I'm pretty good at the things that I'm good at. So I can try out some other stuff. So let's see what happens. At the very least, I can do one of each of these things and kind of see what happens if you do one of each of the other tasks. Including dirt. I could do dirt once to see what happens. Let's deliver supplies because something's not right. They haven't told us quite how low they are on food. And maybe if I'm delivering supplies, I'll get to know that. Okay. Yeah, let's try that. Seek sends you all around the colony delivering supplies. During your first week, it's mostly small things you can carry by hand or push on a little cart. Stuff like tools and electronics. Some are high priority, which means you have to move fast. Oh, stress goes down. It's fun getting to yell, "Important delivery, come through," and people actually get out of the way. Okay, well, I didn't learn anything this time, but... Battle condition. +1 to mental. Battle condition? Oh! Right. Or I could just say no. Actually, hold on. No, we're going to do it this way. That's not a super goal. That's not a super goal. How is it not a super goal? I don't like that. Well. See, all of the problems that I've run into this playthrough, though, a lot of them seem like I should have been studying biology. Biology would help me be better equipped to handle, like, the food situation, and biology would help me be better equipped to help my dad. But I completely picked exactly not that, and I have no interest in biology. So, I don't know. Let's see, what else can I do here? How else could I get more points? Oh wait, that one's unchangeable. I'm gonna be really disappointed in myself if there's no way to do this. I think that this is the most that I can figure out how to do this. No. Okay, well. That's too bad. Sorry, I'm grooving here. All right. Anyway, I'm going to stop grooving. I'm going to accept that I didn't super goal this time. I got a bunch of kudos. I don't want to make friends with Mars, but I guess I have no choice in the matter. I don't know what best score means. Early wet. Okay, now it's wet. Oh. So if it's is it the highest score that you've gotten, you get an extra kudo? Oh, I got the highest possible that I could. Oh, check that out. A ripe blue bobber fruit. I think I can probably give that. Well, we'll see. Because that counts as a plant. And I know she likes plants. So we're going to save. Oops, no. Save. New save. I already spend as little time around other teenagers as possible, Tange sniffs dismissively. But now that everyone smells and is growing hair in unfortunate places? Absolutely not. Her lip curls in disgust. What a cosmic joke. Hormones that encourage us to be intimate with one another while simultaneously turning us into disgusting, sweaty, stinking beasts. Ugh, no thank you. I have never allowed my biology to dictate who I am, and I don't intend to start now. Okay, well, maybe she's ace. I don't know if she likes the bobber fruit, so we're going to find out if she likes the bobber fruit. No. Okay. We're going to load that. So the thing about the fruits save is that I can just, like, fruits indefinitely. That's a, like, classic, timeless title. All right. Tange is happy. I don't know. Have I given this blobber fruit to anybody so far? Is that a thing I've done? I don't remember. Did I give it to Cal? It seems like a thing that Cal would like. And I do want to be friends with Cal. Yes. Okay. Food. Got it. All right, good. And I have another root to give to Dis. Where is he? Dis, are you outside the walls? He's probably outside the walls. Yes, he is. All right, Dis. Let me give you medicinal roots because you like these. All right. Yes, fortunately, going outside lets me get a lot of this. Okay, so what are we going to do this time? What are we going to do? Are we going to try that one more time? We could try that one more time and see what happens. Yes, we are approaching glow, and I'm a little nervous about what that's going to mean. I'm also really nervous about us starving to death. The gates will be closed during glow, and a strict curfew will be in place. Plan accordingly. Okay. I guess I'm gonna try seeing what happens if I deliver supplies somewhere. I also want to try, like, I kind of want to try everything once, maybe? We'll see. Solana's like, screw all this. I'm gonna just go for it. Let's try delivering supplies once more and see what happens. What? It's been a while, but it's time to attend a meeting of the Secret Fun Times Club. Mars started the SFC years ago when you were little kids. Tangent and Tammy agreed to join at the time, but then you all got busy with other things and forgot about it, and then Tammy died. You meet in an unused conference room in command, which Mars says is perfect for a secret club. This is not, I don't want to be in a secret club with Mars. But Tange is here. Club President Mars brings the meeting to order. Tange, Vice President of Writing Down Secrets, records the meeting notes on her hollow palm. As Vice President of Fun Ideas, it was your job to come up with something fun for the club to do today. You chose making friendship bracelets and brought all the supplies you'll need. Today, Mars announces, we're going to make friendship bracelets. And I have an even better idea. We're going to sell them to people for kudos. That isn't really how kudos are supposed to be used, but Mars is hard to argue with sometimes. Oh, man. The three of you spend the afternoon braiding bracelets out of recycled bits of wire and bright plastic packing straps. Your hearts aren't really in it, though. All three of you know that Tammy would have been much better at this than you. Making friendship bracelets was one of her favorite things. She was always giving them to people and didn't expect anything in return. It's eventually Mars who calls the meeting early. She takes all your misshapen bracelets and looks at them dubiously. I don't know if people will want to trade their kudos for these, but I'll do my best. I'll put the kudos in the club treasury. Meeting adjourned. Huh. You ask Tangent if she thinks Mars is actually going to sell them. I think so, Tangent tells you, but the club doesn't even have a treasury. She'll probably just keep the kudos for herself. She doesn't seem to care. Yeah, Mars is going to embezzle the kudos. Mars, why are you like this? It's probably a reason. Well, or we could. Oh, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do it this way. No, we're going to put it here. 5, 5, 5, 4. There we go. That's more like it. Three chances. Oh, that's right. I was going to take off my welder. Well, we'll do that. I've made lots of kudos. My organizing is marginally less bad. My persuasion has hit a threshold where I would unlock a skill if I was going to unlock a skill. So Alas, persuasion does not seem to have a skill at that point. Oh wait, the small skills boost. Got it. Okay, well this is not delivering what I was hoping it would. Unfortunately. The breakpoint is 30. Oh, it's a third of the way through. Okay, well I guess maybe we can try it one more time. But let's go talking. Let's go see if there's anyone we can talk to or anything we can pick up. Right. Memories, which also includes your gear and your collectibles. Oh, I need a perk on pets. Where do I get? What? There was a thing with pets. Where were the pets? There was a thing with pets. I feel like I unlocked a thing with pets, but I don't see any pets anywhere. I don't have a pet, okay. The medallion actually probably doesn't make, well, she doesn't have any, she's not been fighting with her dad, and I just like the medallion. Although I suppose the alternative could be, now that I have a lot more social cards, I guess the space flute's actually probably a more in character choice at this point, because the flute gets me more super goals. Alright, what should I do? What should I do? I'm not really feeling it with the delivery stuff, but I do want to get to, I want to get the persuasion thing if I'm going to get a thing for persuasion. From a meta perspective. Oh, and I guess bravery as well. There'll be more things to unlock then, potentially. Well, my colony is starving to death, and I've got 2 months before glow. Now I have perception and animals. I still don't have much in the way of toughness or combat. So I probably won't be super useful if I go out there during glow to help them when the animals attack us again. I feel like if I were smart enough, I could understand something to maybe make the animals not attack us. Like, I want to be able to tell them I think that this planet is alive in ways that we're not considering, and the reason why it keeps attacking us is because we are cutting it to pieces and it doesn't like that. Like, maybe we need to learn to exist around it rather than make it conform to our needs. I want points in persuasion, and I want points in bravery. I could go play my flute some more. Or I could continue the thing I've been doing. Or I could get more points in reasoning. I feel like she's kind of like saying screw education right now. Oh wait, but this is both creativity. So I could do creativity and persuasion, or I could do creativity. That's why my creativity is so high. I kind of like the idea of saying screw it And playing flute during glow. I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm gonna just say no education. Yeah, my stress is, it's high, but it's not too high, so we'll be all right. Oh, we could go rest on the wall during glow again. That sounds good, doesn't it? Pretty sure that's a good idea. Pretty sure that's my best idea ever. Like, I'm a teenager controlled by hormones, maybe doing stupid things. It's gonna happen. Well, your animals have to be... Well, I might actually be able to help my dad with the animals. Oh, man. Oh, geez. Your mom is staring solemnly at a wheelbarrow of withered, gnarly-looking crops. She says to the agriculturist entering the stalk into his hollow palm. I hope this isn't going to be the case forever. We're going to be in real trouble soon. She looks up as you approach. Solana, do you need something? I want to actually be able to tell her what I learned today, because that may actually be a way of being like, I learned this stuff about how the planet works. I don't know. So, organizing might be useful. Well, let's give that one more try. One more try before I give up on delivering stuff. We're just gonna have done no school this entire year, right? Like, I haven't gone to the school once. To be fair, I think I did enough schooling for my early years to make up for like a year or two of no schooling. Oh, it's delivering supplies that I've been doing. Oh no, it's perception. That's not what I care about. Working in the depot. That's the one that gives me persuasion and organizing. I feel like delivering supplies is a thing you unlock earlier? Maybe? I don't know. Working in the depot seems like it's better in every way for you. So I'm gonna do that. I might regret this. Let's see what happens. We're gonna try this. Ah, okay. Seek rolls their eyes when they see you report to the depot for your first day as a clerk. Oh, it's you, they deadpan. Well, at least you might learn something useful while you're here. The depot is where the precious nanoprinter lives. Seek lords over it like a tyrant, and they don't like children. They load the depot module on your holopalm and walk you through the process. People submit requisitions for the nanoprinter through this portal, they explain. It's your job to program the correct routine into the nanoprinter to fulfill their order. Then you mark it as available for delivery or pickup, depending on if we have a delivery person available. Seek grumbles. And we almost never do. With that perfunctory explanation, Seek leaves you to figure out what to do on your own. It's okay for the first hour or so, because no one puts in a requisition at all. It is pretty early. Maybe everyone is still asleep? So I could clean and organize the depot, which will give me extra points in organizing. Catch up on some homework, which probably gives me points in reasoning. Catch up on some sleep, which probably lowers my stress. Well, I can't sleep because then I won't overhear stuff. And that's what we're doing here, is we're trying to spy on the adults. So I can get them to lower their guard by doing homework. Although cleaning and organizing the depot would be a good... I'm gonna do that because I'm snooping. Even if this is not at all how, like, what is in the game shows me, like, even if this isn't actually what happens, this is my role playing. Look, I don't usually role play when we play games, so, like, enjoy it while it lasts. I'm making up a meta explanation that is not probably going to be founded in text whatsoever. Clean and organize the depot. There isn't a lot to organize, as you don't store a lot of stuff here except for things that people need all the time, like toothpaste. But you find a bucket and start to mop the floors the old-fashioned way because there's nothing wrong with taking pride in your work. Well, actually, I'm snooping, but this will get the adults to lower their guard and they'll be more likely to tell me things. You're jerked back to reality by a haptic pulse through your hollow palm. Your first order. You excitedly open your hollow palm and read it. Elbow grease 1 gallon, it reads. From Cal Geoponics. Delivery ASAP. Very funny, Cal, or fill the requisition. I can recognize that he's telling a joke because my reasoning is high enough, so I'm going to say very funny, Cal. You dismiss the phony requisition. Ha ha, Cal's got jokes. Another one pops up on your hollow screen. Flashlight fluid, 2 gallons. Anemone sports ball delivery ASAP. Really, Anemone? See if my reasoning is high enough to see through everybody's giving me a hard time. Another bogus requisition? Are your friends trying to prank you? You've barely dismissed that second one before a third comes in. ID 10T gas, so idiot gas. Flammable, 2 cubic meters pressurized. Tangent engineering delivery, ASAP caution. Need reasoning 20 or greater. You almost got me, Tange. Tange is not really the pranking type, but you stop yourself from looking up idiot gas. You dismiss the requisition and message your friends to knock it off. That's amazing. Finally, you get a real requisition and get down to work. It's easier than you thought. You're just finishing up when Mars strolls in. Did she set everyone else up to that? Probably. Ah! She hops onto the depot counter and primly crosses her legs. I am so totally relieved to have you as my assistant here, Solana. Finally, someone to haul boxes and fetch things so I can focus on the important work. I can either say sounds good to me or your assistant. I should be in charge if I had enough points in organizing, which I don't. Or maybe we could share responsibilities, which I'm going to pick because, like, screw that. Kudos. Ha! I got kudos for that. Amazing. I don't care which one of you is in charge, Seek interrupts, so long as you get the work done. Seek pauses. Wait, did you wash the floors? They say, looking impressed. Well, that does deserve a reward. Here you go. They swipe their hollow palm and you feel yours pulse as a couple kudos are deposited to your account. Oh, cool. I made some money because I swept the floors. See, I'm getting in good with the administrator. Mars can hardly wait until Seek is gone to giggle. Either way, I'm glad you're here. This job is usually so boring. All right, well. Oh, this is going to be lots of points. Oh, I forgot that was a thing. Well, let's just, like, throw a ton of points here. A ton of cards here. Okay, that's just a goal, not a super goal. Oh, wait, hold on. 6, 5. I think that's as good as I'm going to be able to get, though. Thinking. I want a super goal. I don't think I can. However, if I do this, and I swap these, hold on. Ah, that doesn't work, yeah. There we go. There we go. There we go. I knew it had to be possible. Wait, there's a slot that got a +1? What slot got the +1? One slot. Oh, that's the one. I didn't see that, or I might have noticed this. Well. It's fine. We got it. We got it. We got it. Wait. However. See, that's not a super goal. But I get an additional skill point there. But I think a super goal is better. Because you get the additional skill point anyway. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Okay. Well. We're getting tired. We don't have a lot of time to go. We could go play some flute and then sit on the wall to recover. Or well, let's go see if there's, just in case anyone has anything to say or any stuff has popped up to be gifts that I can give to my friends. But things are bad food-wise, and I don't think I have any skills that I can use for that right now. I don't see any stuff. Do I want persuasion or bravery going into glow? Because I'm not close enough with perception. Yeah, that's going to be then I guess 66 presumably. And engineering, perception. Yeah. Persuavery. If I had a thing that would let me. I have so much monies. What was the stuff I was gonna buy? How much did it cost? I'm gonna check that actually. Is it the supply depot? Oh, wait. I could get a superhero cape. And then my bravery would just be so much stronger. Emoji Proji. +10. Oh. Oh, that could actually be really useful. I think I might want the Emoji Proji. This gives me more empathy. I think this was the thing that I originally wanted. And then I didn't get it. I want to buy something here. Like, part of me, I don't know. Yeah, like the cool jacket. That's a big boost. That would push me over a 40 cutoff. But actually, no. Because things seem to frequently have like a 20 cutoff and a 40 cutoff. And this would have both persuasion and bravery. I would go into glow with persuasion and bravery both over that cutoff. Because I imagine it's not going to give me the skill until I naturally have that. I kind of want to get the Emoji Proji. I don't even know quite what it is, but... I think that's right. I think that's what I want. Yeah, no, I'm not asking for that. I'm just gonna not know that until I know that. Yeah, I think equipping this thing. I think that'll be good. Because those are the skills that I care a lot about, those skills. So yeah, I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna buy the emoji proji for 100 kudos. Yeah, why not? Purchase complete. Okay, done. Okay, then we're going to do memories gear. We're going to equip this. Although actually I think this is going to be more useful. Okay, yeah, see, it doesn't. Yeah, so that puts both persuasion and bravery over a cutoff, and empathy is then over the 20 cutoff. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to want going into glow. Which I think, because hold on, quick question to a thing that I have forgotten. Does the glow event occur at the end of glow month or at the beginning of glow month? Because I don't remember. At the end. So that means that I could equip the photo phonor for whatever I do this month, and then next month equip the emoji proji going into glow. Okay. Then that's what we shall do. Photo phonor. Now, which skill would I like to try to get a perk with? Bravery or persuasion? Bravery does seem to be the one that's most relevant to glow most often. And that won't put me in the exhaustion range. Going into glow, so I can do something else in glow if I want to. I don't have to chill on the walls. Okay, there's no stuff here and no conversations that I can see. All right. Just gotta check. Even though I know those things are usually caused by something. Well, not the stuff. Stuff just shows up randomly, but conversations are caused by something. All right. So in that case, I've got persuasion and bravery are both the ones that I'm ready to unlock stuff with. So I'm going to unlock those. So do we play flute now? Or do we stay indoors and play flute at the next glow? I won't be able to sneak out as easily from here. Is my rationale. In case something goes down during glow, I want to be able to sneak out. And I can't do that if I'm under Seek's supervision. But I can do that if I'm just playing flute in the lounge. So, we will do one more round of this, and then we'll go in the lounge and play flute during glow. How does that sound? Why was I doing the delivery? That doesn't make sense. I thought working in the depot, well, I don't know. I had a rationale, perhaps. We're gonna try this. I've got a plan. It might not be a good one, but I'm gonna do it. I have an in-character explanation. Ha! Mars has asked you to recruit some new members for the secret Fun Times Club. Who do you approach about this fun, exciting opportunity to make friends and be your own boss? Oh my god. Yeah, I really don't like these. I'm mostly just doing these tasks because I want to see what's going on. Okay. Oh, that's true, blue glass. That was my reasoning. Thank you. Clearly my memory is not. My brain is not going to be working as well for the next little bit. We'll see what we can do. All right. So I'm going to, even though I think that bringing Dis in here is probably a bad idea, I'm going to do it anyway because I'm more interested in friendship with him than Anemone or Cal right now. I love Cal, and Cal would probably get, I don't know. I'll bring Dis in, and this could go terribly because both Mars and Tangent have strained relationships with Dis, shall we say. But let's bring in Dis. Dis will be easy to recruit, you figure. His sister's already in the club after all, right? Wrong guess. No, Dis mumbles, flipping his hoodie over his head. I have better things to do than be in your stupid club. You insist, but he just shakes his head. You just want someone to make fun of. Go away. But I did get friendship points with him, I think. Ah, okay. Even though you don't manage to recruit him, you can tell Dis is secretly happy that you tried to include him. At least you think so. It's okay, it's hard to tell, but you have a strong suspicion. I'll take that. That's good. The meeting starts as usual, except for Mars's foul mood. Seriously, nobody found any more recruits? Do I have to do all the work around here? It's a good thing I convinced Cal and Anemone to join. She sniffs. What, like it was hard? Anemone can be vice president of kicking stuff, Mars announces. You know, for if we need extra security, or like if we need to open a door and can't use our hands. Cal will be vice president of transportation, Mars continues. Cal pulls out his hoverboard and grins. That'll be useful if we need to get somewhere fast, or if only one of us does anyway. He can deliver secret messages too. I do actually wonder though if making this fun club thing will actually allow us to have like a teenage resistance against the adults or something long term. We'll see. Mars makes them raise their hands. Do you promise to always be cool kids and do fun stuff together and never tell any adults about the secret Fun Times Club? Cal and Anemone agree readily. Okay. So almost everybody's in that. Oh wait, hold on, no. Yeah, and then we're gonna do 5, 4, 3, 3. Oh! +2 from a grand feast. Oh, +2 cards with gems. Okay. Well, that worked out. All right, super goal. Let's do it. I need to pay. I'm paying more attention to the status thingies that it does. Okay, win. Got +1 to organizing. Well, that's fine, but persuasion is the one that we really want. We've unlocked a new ability. Okay. It's been a long month of being cooped up indoors while it poured rain and everything got too muddy and gross to play outside. You and the other teens are in the lounge again, and everyone's getting a little antsy. What did I unlock? Perk. Yellow cards get +1 in social challenges. Oh, that's cool! Tangent and Cal are bickering about something, and Dis must be bored enough that he's letting Mars paint his fingernails. Anemone is trying to do a dance she learned from watching holovids, and she's failing miserably. The sound of her music fills the room. You're starting to feel a little off too, but like, it's weird. Like you want to yell, but at the same time you want to take off all your clothes and streak through the colony square. Oh, good. Oh, good. Good. Great. Fantastic. Anemone dances a little too close to Mars's collection of nail polish, bumping into the table and sending them all, and herself, clattering to the floor. Hey, watch it, Dis snaps. Dance your stupid dance somewhere else. Oh boy. It's not stupid, Anemone sniffles from the floor. You don't have have to be so mean to me. Boo-hoo, Mars teases. What are you gonna do, dance about it? Ugh, you're all so childish. Who even cares? Look at how expressive their faces are. Oh, Anemone is so adorable. She's such a cute child. Hey, everyone, just shut up, Cal exclaims from across the room. Honestly, you all fight all the time. You stay inside where it's nice and dry, and you don't appreciate how hard everyone else is working. It's just whine, whine, whine. Wow. Wow, Cal. Wow, Cal. There is kind of a dissonance because I was supposed to get some of these other things that I'm doing, like the Happy Fun Times Club, I think was supposed to be done while you were like a year or two younger. But yeah. So Cal is feeling some resentment towards everyone else and their cozy jobs. You're not better just because you work outside, Tange joins in. You're not special, Cal. If I wanted to, I could work outside. She opens her hollow palm and flies her fingers over the screen. There, see? Next month, I'll be working in geoponics. How do you like that? Then you can nag me about my soft hands all you want. Whew, amazing. Utica pokes her head in front from the command corridor. Children, keep it down. We can hear you all the way from the bridge. Everyone goes quiet for about a second and then explodes into arguing again. Utica throws her hands in the air and retreats down the hallway in defeat. So I can either go, time to go wild, or yeah, fight, fight, or everyone just shut up, or calm down, everybody. All right. I have no particular reason to pick one of these over the others, so I have to think about an in-character explanation for these. Okay. There is no version of Solana I can think of that would cheer on fighting between her friends. So, number 2 is not going to happen. It's time to go out. I actually think everyone just shut up. It's the answer. I'm feeling irritable. They're all fighting. They're bickering. On some level, and I'm aware of the food situation. And I'm really stressed about that. And I think that's going to come out in acting up. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that her shouting, everyone just shut up, it's going to make everyone be mad at me, and I'm going to like lose friendship points for it. And maybe I'll get goody two shoes points. Although I think that the calm down everybody is probably the goody two shoes points. Am I going to... Okay, Solana. Are you going to be inspired by the chaos and the fact that you feel like Solana is going to snap? Some form of snapping. Is she going to snap against the colony and just make a huge old mess? Or is she going to snap at her friends because they're the ones who are doing this? Which form of snapping are we going to do? Chaos or anger? Yeah, well, because she's been trying to... She's been trying to investigate what's going on. I don't know if the game knows, like, my character is aware of these things. I think it's got to, because she overheard these conversations between her parents. She's seen some of these things. She knows things are bad. She knows things are dire. She's mad at the colony, at the adults for keeping it from her, but she's also scared. And here her friends are bickering about things that are petty and also being mean to each other. And that's not cool. So yeah, I think we're gonna choose violence instead of chaos. As fun as chaos would be, Solana doesn't feel like somebody who would just devolve into chaos at this point anyway. I think she's a little too level-headed and reserved by nature. So even when she's not being level-headed, I think she would still have that, like, I don't know. It feels out of character. Maybe it's just because it feels out of character for me, for her to just, like, go into, like, absolute wild, crazy, whatever hysterics. So I think she's gonna shout, everyone just shut up. I'm gonna do that. See what happens. Oh. Everyone ignores you and keeps squabbling. Mars chases Cal and everyone else chases her, and somehow you all end up in the classroom. Suddenly Mars shouts, "Okay, everyone, everyone." She claps her hands. 1, 2, 3, look at me. Everyone shut up. Okay, so that did nothing. And I got loyalty points, which is not what I wanted, so that's fine. Everyone stops arguing and looks at Mars in shock. "I have an idea," she says. "We should decorate the classroom." No one seems excited by this prospect until she adds, "With toilet paper. Come on, it'll be pretty. Uh-huh. Now everyone's on board. You can feel yourself getting excited too. This is so naughty. You might get in trouble, but who cares? You're having fun. So I can either try to stop them, join them, or make it into a competition. I'm sorry. I have a rivalry with Mars. I have beat her in the talent show 3 times, I believe. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to eavesdrop on important things and learn what I'm doing in a very sneaky way. And she just wants to do the Happy Fun Times Club and boss me around. She bullies my friends, and this is a decoration? And do you see how many points in creativity I have? I am an artiste. I am going to trounce Mars in the toilet paper decorating competition. Or at least that's my intent. We'll see what happens. Make it into a competition. You split the classroom in half and break up into 2 teams, and whoever completely covers their half first is the winner. Everyone agrees readily, even Cal, and he hates competitions. Oh my god. We are going to get in so much trouble. This is great. Yes, and Mars pulled off the exact thing I was trying to do, but I got ignored and everyone listened to her, so. Oh. That's the vibration sure feels weird. Your team is doing well until the other team sends Tangent over to sabotage your progress. Mars complains as Tange runs around tearing down your garlands, but Anemone on the other team insists that there was no rule against sabotage, so it's all totally fair. This makes Mars shriek in indignation and go flying at Anemone, knocking her to the floor for a vicious hair-pulling battle. Oh, this is not what I intended to have happen. Well, it's fine. I assumed that I would be on the opposite side of Mars, but apparently that's not what happened. All the noise attracts the attention of Chief Engineer Instance, who throws her hands up in dismay at the state of the room. The kids scatter before she can make anyone clean up. The next day, you all feel terrible. It feels like your arms and legs are made of lead, and it takes so much energy to do anything, you can barely make it out of bed. All the energy from yesterday has been drained out of you, and then some. It lasts for a week. Some of you can't even get out of bed. And when you do, your moods are all over the place. Aggressive, sulky, impulsive, until your batteries run out and you sleep for over 12 hours straight. Huh. I don't remember this being a thing that happened in adolescence, but maybe it's based on a biological thing. You're resting in the lounge with your friends, watching holovids and grazing on roasted pixie beans when your dad and Chief Engineer Instance come storming through the door. You! Instance snaps, smacking the bowl of pixie beans out of Mars's hands. Stop eating those this instant. Mars looks like she's about to snack some sense into instant, but your dad steps in. I'm sorry, everyone. We were wrong about the pixie beans. They're not safe for you kids to be eating. Oh, that's concerning. That's concerning. You've been feeding us poison? Mars shrieks. Oh, ew! Ew, ew, ew! Do my dads know you tried to kill me? Your dad spreads his hands. No, they're not. Don't worry, Mars. Calm down. They're not poison. There's just a chemical in them that hyperbonds to estrogen and testosterone, your big teenage growing hormones. And the brain likes binding to that new macromolecule a lot more than the regular kind. It's been making your moods unpredictable and causing periods of hypo and hypermania. Oh. Oh. That is not good news. That is not good news. I have experience with hypomania, but not hypermania. It's fun. All right. Well. When Mars stares blankly at him, he laughs awkwardly. Translation, he says. It's been making you kids act silly and feel sick. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a lot of the space for food. And now the kids can't eat that. So maybe the adults can eat it, but the kids can't. Instance frowns. If it's doing this to kids, it's not long until it builds up enough to affect the rest of us too. Until further notice, no one is to eat a single pixie bean. We are going to starve to death. Colony food is out and hormones is out. Well, that's good. Your dad looks distraught. Flulu was right, he says, collapsing in a nearby chair and rubbing his eyes. She didn't trust these things, but she's still going to be pissed that we don't have another successful food source. You look at him in shock. You hardly ever see him swear. It must be worse than you think. Your dad sits there in silence for a long time. Yes, the hormones were possibly beans. So I assume that if you don't eat the beans, then you don't get the hormones. That's interesting. That's a funny thing to think about. Well, it's glow. And I don't get to do anything else. But new perk. Persuasion level 1, +1 to social cards. Yellow cards get +1 in social challenges. Bravery, I want bravery, but I can't do. Okay. So we were going to equip Emoji Proji going into glow to make us more likely. Can I still do a task this month? I don't think I can. You find a glittering crystal cluster. You need some time off. Yeah. I don't think I can do a task this month. Hello, Mom. Mom is going to say. Your mom gives you a stern look. Be careful, she warns you. Now that we know for a fact it isn't safe out there during glow, I won't have you venturing close to the walls. Stay where I can see you, close to the ship. Yeah, like, I cannot practice Phonophore. I'm too stressed out and I need to take a month off. So all I can do, unfortunately, is either rest or I can be a rebel and go in the wall. Yep. Unfortunately, I got stressed out during the hormones thing. The gates are closed. Oh. Dis pokes a glowing bauble bud with his toe. The seed head snaps free and drifts up into the dark of glow, slowly breaking up into little luminescent specks. Make a wish, he says. I'm gonna save. This goes for everything. I can dare him to go into a restricted area. This is a terrible time. Normally this would be fine, but let's see what happens, shall we? I hope I don't get him killed. That's why I saved. Dare you to go into a restricted area. Oh, never mind, that's indoors. You dare Dis to explore the creepiest, darkest parts of engineering. Deep down, where even Chief Engineer Instance never goes. Under the recycling room, where they say there are ghosts. You set the mood, then sneak around behind him, put your hollow palm flashlight under your face and shout, "Boo!" Putting on your scary face. Oh, that's a great card. Value is wild. Wild card value matches as all pairs or straights. Oh, that's exciting. It's a wild card. Okay. He rolls his eyes. Solana, think about it. If there were ghosts on this spaceship, one of them would be my mom. Oh, yeah, you guess that would scare a normal person, but Dis still isn't scared of anything. Yeah, that's a really interesting point. I like this. This is really interesting. New perk. Bravery level 1, extra card draw. Draw an extra card at the start of challenge. Effect stacks. Nice. Well, we did manage to get our 1 point in bravery anyway. Yes, just saved the day. However, I'm still gonna choose a bad idea. Kind of. I'm trying to decide if I'm dumb enough to do that. Hold on, wait, no, I can give him, let me give him, I've got more roots I can give him and tangent. I can dare you to. Stressful events. Oh man. All right, medicinal roots. Yes, sweet. And where is she? That means I can give one more to her. Where is she? Is she not out? Can I not give it to her? Tangent. Oh, Tangent. I'm trying to give you some cool roots. Do you mind? She does mind. No, apparently not everyone is out during Glow. Okay, well, that's fine. How silly do I feel? All right, so I know that food situation is really bad. Do I want to go out on the walls during Glow and get in trouble? I kind of want to see what happens. This is probably not a good idea. This might, in fact, be a bad idea. However, I really want to try it. Yeah, let's do it. Because I can kind of see her being like, something's going on. Maybe I reasoned with some of the creatures when I went out there. Maybe I can reason with the creatures now. I'm gonna relax on the walls. The view from the wall during Glow... Also, my mom told me, and I'm still feeling a bit hormonal, I don't know. The view from the wall during Glow is absolutely breathtaking. The wormhole seems to smother the sky like a swirling, jewel-toned bowl pressing down on the gloom. Everything in the wilderness is lit up and seems to breathe in and out with the planet, like one living creature made of stars. It's beautiful. You could almost forget how dangerous it is. It is! It is one living creature of sorts. There's something about that. There's something going on here. Well, I don't want to forget either of these. So no, we're gonna close and keep cards. We keep our memories, and we made a friend. Got friendship with this. Another year, another Glow. Everyone's pretty sure there's going to be an attack this year, so the colony is on high alert. Here we go. Yep. You're collecting glowflies in the geoponics gardens with Cal and Anemone when the sirens begin to wail. You all stop what you're doing and look at each other nervously. Your parents run off to help defend the farms, telling you to get inside the greenhouses and stay quiet. Anemone declares she's going to the walls to watch the soldiers fight. She knows a good spot. So I can either get inside and stay quiet, watch from the walls, or help defend the gates, which requires bravery, which I have. But you see, I have 0 points in combat and few points in toughness. I feel like maybe watching from the walls makes sense. Maybe I can call. I do have the power of super goals. That's true. I just... I worry about fighting. Yeah, watching from the walls is what I was planning on doing anyway. The thing is, right now, Solana, because we're role-playing, Solana has noticed enough to... She's beginning to kind of piece together a little bit about, including some theories, about why the planet is the way it is and why the creatures of the planet are reacting the way they are. So she's concerned about people dying. She's concerned about the planet suffering. She's concerned about all of these things, and so she wants to be able to influence that in some way. If I could watch from the walls and, like, do something from up top, maybe. Or I could actually go out there. She's definitely not going inside, staying quiet. I think watching from the walls is about right. Hopefully I don't go watch a family member of mine be murdered horribly. I don't know. Yeah, I might watch from the walls. I have no toughness. I have no combat. I'm not a combat person. And so fighting just doesn't feel like something she would do. I would go out there to try to talk them down. Then again, perhaps I can talk them down from outside. Cal got pretty messed up fighting. Like, he was really upset about having to put down one of the animals that was attacking. I think Solana would be really depressed about that, but she would also be really depressed if everyone dies and there's something she could have done. This could be the last year that she doesn't go out. And she regrets that if it goes badly, so she doesn't go out. Then again, she did sneak out and get the reputation of bravery last time. So it could kind of feel like it's building from that. Do I want to help defend the gates or watch from the walls? I'm just trying to figure out what is the more in-character thing to do here. Watching from the walls was my original plan. No, that's true. And defending the gates just doesn't feel right. I don't think. But I have all these points in empathy, persuasion, and bravery. That's got to amount to something. We're going to get out there and try to do something, Solana? You have 0 points in combat. But they usually have non-combat options, so maybe I'll be able to do that. Yeah, so let's go defend the gates. Screw rebellion. Gain status heroic. You scramble down from the walls and are immediately faced with a seething wall of Popeyes. Whew. You kind of thought there were only a handful of these usually peaceful creatures in previous years, but there's swarms of them now. Whew. And not just Popeyes. Once your eyes adjust to the chaos, you can see large creatures that look like walking bushes. These wild centipede-looking things with long spider legs, and at least one giant many-eyed thing that's hovering clear off the ground, defying gravity. They all seem to be incited into a frenzy, attacking everything in sight and trying to get through the walls. It's dark and chaotic. Calm sees you through the fray. Solana, he shouts, get to safety. You're suddenly not sure this is a good idea, but then you look up and see Anemone shouting encouragement from up on the wall. I do not have any combat points, so I cannot fight tactically, so I can either fight bravely or run away. Anemone is cheering me on. I don't want to fight. That's cute, though, that I have more friendship with Anemone because she thinks I'm cool and brave. Thing is, when I was exploring, because I have this end game in mind where I'm going to try to convince the planet that we are not inherently destructive and that it should stop trying to kill us, and I'm going to try to convince my people that we should stop killing the planet and make friends with it. And Solana did speculate. I saved some creature and was like, gosh, I really hope that they recognize me in the future for doing this. So, like I said, fighting doesn't feel like something that I am. I'm not a fighter. It's stupid for me to be out here fighting. Running away would be the right decision. Anemone is cheering me on as I do this. Like, the thing is, like, I'm not quite sure why Solana is out here not wanting to fight. Like, I wanted there to be, like, a non-combat thing where I can try to talk the creatures down. This is not a combat challenge, though. This is not a card challenge thing. So we can try to fight bravely. Let's see what happens. Making up with guts for what you lack in sense or skill, you charge in without a plan or real weapon. Ha! You're immediately rammed in the side by what looks like a living pile of rocks, and you go down. You see sky, then dirt, then sky again as you're tossed through the air. Yeah. Before you land in a heap at the base of the wall. Through the ringing in your ears, you can hear Anemone screaming for Calm to help. Oh. Okay, we're gonna go through with this, and then we'll probably load, okay? You stumble to your feet, body vibrating with adrenaline. You can feel blood trickling over your face, and it hurts like someone stabbing you in the chest when you breathe. Calm runs over and sends bolts of energy coursing from his stun gloves to the creature, but being mostly comprised of rock, it seems unfazed. It does, however, swing its head to look at him, giving you a chance to flee. We have an impossible challenge, and we are going to try it, because if I don't, he's going to get killed defending me, and I'm injured, and it's bad. So we're going to do this. It is a terrible idea, and then we'll load. At the very least, we'll probably see what happens if we die. Card becomes physical red. All right. I appreciate your faith in me here. Oh, wait. That didn't work. Oh, shoot. Wait, actually, though. Oh, man! I cannot do my 3-4-5. It won't let me. Well, I tried. So that's 17. Hold on, we're gonna try this, and then we're gonna do this. Okay, yeah. We're gonna see what happens. Or... That's actually probably... This is honestly probably the best time to use this card. Yeah. That's probably the best time to use that card. Okay. Next round. I don't think it's physically possible for me to win this, but... Yeah, it's not going to be physically possible for me to win this, but... Next round. Oh, jeez. Or... Oh. I don't have any twos, do I? No. Otherwise I could do a 3, 4, 5, but I don't. Yeah, I do not have the option to push through with my stress. So I cannot do this. So what I can try to do is redraw my hand. The button in the bottom left, sort cards by suit, sort cards by value. Oh. Okay. We can redraw our hand and see if we can do better. Sure. Value is wild. Okay. Still cannot push through. Alright, I think we're gonna have to give up. Unfortunately, I think this is probably about as good as I can get. It's not close. We're not close, unfortunately. Yeah, it would have been nice to get, like, any number of other cards. But unfortunately, this is what we've got. Even with 6, 4, plus 6 for 4 of a kind. Still not enough. Tried really hard. Alas. Alright, are you ready to see what happens when Solana presumably dies? Alright. Let's do it. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Defeated. No skill changes. I think that's the least of my concerns. Your broken body is leaking like a garden hose, but somehow, you manage to improvise a spear out of a bit of rebar from the ever-present construction and throw yourself at the gargantuan creature. You and Calm duck and weave around the monster, him getting its attention and you jamming your spear into its armored body, looking for weak points. It seems impossible. The thing is all rock. You can feel yourself beginning to lose hold of reality, your vision fuzzing out at the edges. Finally, Calm yells, there, as it roars. You lunge for its snap-jaw mouth and jam the spear in and up. There's a terrible moment when nothing happens, an inhalation of fate, and then the creature tosses its head and you with it, flipping you into the air and into its mouth. Like a frog being eaten by a turtle, your legs kick in the air ineffectively as it tries to gobble you down whole. It's dark in here. It's not a very happy place. You're mercifully wrenched back out again before the acidic grinding of its gizzard causes you to lose consciousness entirely. Calm drags you away as a fresh group of soldiers tries to drive the beast back out of the colony. Wow, I thought I was going to die. Huh, that's interesting that you can't just get yourself killed. Gain status injured. 2 months. You'll need time to recover from your injuries, but Dr. Instance patches you up well enough that you can make it back home that night. I think I should load. Because that's an out of character type of thing. It's just because like that's one particular challenge that you kind of shouldn't take. Like as exciting as that was, that feels like that was not the right character choice. It feels like watching from the top is the right thing to do. I did get to see what would happen. I get to know kind of like whether the game will kill you or not, basically. And the answer seems to be no. So we're going to relax on the walls. Oh, so it rolls up the exact same cards. Keep your memories. I'm going to watch from the walls. Oh, shoot. You and Anemone race towards the walls and scramble up so you can watch from a safe distance. Did we miss anything good? She pants. Oh, look, there's my brother. Come up here. Calm looks around for the source of the voice, squinting up at you when he spots you on the walls. He yells up at you to stay put, and then the animals burst through the gates. Okay, here we go. The wood splinters in every direction, and hop eyes pour in, quickly overwhelming the guards. Hop eyes are small, but in large numbers, they're fierce. You watch the security officers manage the chaos. They have gloves that shoot arcs of lightning, and if you watch close, you can practically see the skeletons of the little animals light up from within when they're hit. Cool. I don't like that. Look at him go! Anemone cries, cheering for her brother. Get him! Calm! Watch out! Oh, he's okay. She clutches your arm. He's so brave. I want to be cool like him when I grow up. You could really impress Anemone by going down there and helping out. So I could go down there, get yelled at, and come back. Man. I don't have... Well, the thing is, like, you get yelled at and then you can go back in. Like, that's the thing. So you can go back to safety. That was an option. I chose not to run away at any point. So, I could do that. I wonder if that would take away my bravery status. All right, I can Stay where it's safe. I guess we can try that. We go down there. We gain status heroic. It's scary. I'm stressed. Calm tells me to go away. I'm gonna run away. Calm's right. This is no place for a kid. You turn tail and flee back to the safety of the walls. Okay, I lost friendship points with her, but I do have the heroic status, so that's cool. Eventually, the defense forces manage to push back the creatures. The rest of their broken forces flee back into the wilderness. You and Anemone slip back home before you get into trouble. Yes, bravely ran away. That's right. Monty Python doesn't seem to be as ubiquitous as it used to be. Like, the quest for the Holy Grail is no longer quoted constantly like it was when I was in high school. In the pre-meme days. Your parents are arguing quietly at your little table. Yeah, this is what I figured. Like, this is much less dramatic than that. Because I figured once we got here that it would be like the same scene kind of either way. So I got my heroic perk. I tried to go out there bravely and then was like, wait, maybe this isn't my best idea. Okay. Your parents are arguing quietly at your little table. I'm telling you, it wasn't a fluke, your mom says. They're not just wild animals. They have a plan. The fields, the lights. Okay, your dad replies, taking her hands across the tabletop. We have to tell people what we saw in geoponics. They look up, noticing you in the doorway. Your dad's worried expression quickly changes to a smile. Hey, Rutabaga. He's still trying to protect me. What happened to the fields? Your mom stands up. Don't worry about that, she snaps. Get to bed. It's late and we have a lot of work to do tomorrow to clean up. All right, well, we did not get eaten by a creature. Well, that's exciting. I somehow managed to make more friends with... Wait! They're in teenage forms. They're in teenage forms. Holy crap. Holy crap. Teenage forms. Oh my goodness, my friends are all teenagers. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, so Anemone's 12, Cal is 28, Mars is 18, Tangent is 74, and Dis is 51. All right. My empathy went up by 11, my persuasion went up by 14, my creativity went up by 16, my bravery went up by 21. Organizing actually went up by 16 too. Toughness +1, perception +54. Combat +1. Animals +33. I am somewhat stressed, a little bit more rebellious overall. I found 2 foods. I wound up spending some kudos. Did not get any defense. I harvested mushwood and found that whole process really uncomfortable. Playing in the snow was interesting. It wound up being uncomfortable, if I remember correctly. A beautiful vista. That was the prize for sneaking out and hanging out with Dis, if I remember correctly. A mysterious stranger, someone I didn't recognize, was watching me. That's very interesting. I wonder if it's a grown-up me. That would be funny and interesting if I've traveled through time to watch my younger self. Class cutter, that's right, I got a flamethrower. I saw the bush bulbs dance. I might have gotten stepped on a little bit. Another playing in the snow. I didn't realize I had 2 of those. And then I beat Mars again in the talent show. A grand feast. It looks so unsettling. And then putting on your scary face. Looks like you're supposed to do this when you're a teenager, because that looks more like a teenage Solana. All right, start age 14. All right, we're teenagers. Everyone looks different. Look at that. Tangent appears to have shaved her head or cut her hair real short. Oh man. Look at me. I'm adorable. Okay. Let us go talk to our friends. See what they look like. Oh my god, she's so adorable. Anemone grabs you by the shoulders. Solana, you gotta help me, she says urgently. Mom keeps talking about how we're all gonna have to start having babies, and she gets this look about her. I don't want to have any skunky babies. Anemone shudders with her whole body. Why'd I gotta be in a girl body anyway? I'm tougher and stronger than lots of boys, and no one's telling them they gotta have babies. Oh man. My toughness is not nearly high enough for that. Alright, let's go talk to Tange. Oh, she's cool looking. She looks super cool. Tangent looks up from her hollow palm, blinking as her eyes refocus on the middle distance and then on you. Her previously long hair is gone, buzzed close to her scalp. You almost didn't recognize her when you first saw her. You wonder if it was caused by a lab accident or something. Hello, Solana, she says, already cagey. Did you need something? You need to say hair? I mean, what's up with your hair? Or, no, I just came by to say hello. I think they gave them acne, these characters, because they're teenagers. Or at least she does seem to. That's funny. She's gonna get self-conscious potentially if I ask her about her hair. She's also shaved through part of her eyebrow too, you can see. Well, I just saved. So, hair. I mean, what's up with your hair? Tange shrugs. It's too hot here, she says dismissively. If evolution hasn't seen fit to solve the problem, then adaptive behaviors will have to do. That's a great line. So if I had enough points in empathy, I could say, come on, what's the real story? Or I can hit on her and she's going to shut me down. Solana, this is going to go badly, honey. I can say I'm into women with short hair. She has crushed hard on this girl for several years now, okay? She's gonna be a disaster lesbian. Or disaster bi, I don't know. But all I know is that she has a crush on Tangent. And she's had a crush on Tangent for a while. So she'll say, I'm into women with short hair. I'm pretty sure that Tangent is not into that kind of thing. So we'll see what happens when she shuts me down this time. Tange stares at you blankly for a few seconds, trying to figure out if you're making fun of her. Your opinion is noted, she says finally. Thank you. Tange turns back to her reports. It's not about looking good, she says. This is simply more efficient. I'm gonna keep at it. Don't think I won't. Don't think I won't. Just keep trying ineffectively to flirt with her. Unless she specifically says, I am not interested, please stop, then I'll stop. But if she's just confused by it, I'll probably continue trying. Because Solana doesn't know. Alright, Cal. Oh, he's adorable. His hair is long and a little silly. He looks the same. Even though he's taller and older, he still looks the same. Cal is standing in the garden watching a pair of Dorb's moth flutter overhead. They're the worst, he says, frowning. We gotta find a better place to put the grain because they just get in everywhere. You'd be surprised what kind of hole they can squeeze through. Oh good, moths are eating our food. Love it. I'm never gonna have a fun nature fact. Hi, Dad. Hey, Sunberry, your dad greets you. Working hard or hardly working? That's his line. Alright, well, help with the animals. We're not there yet. We'll get there eventually. Done. And what does Mom say? You haven't seen your mom at mealtimes for a while. You're probably just missing her. She works really hard here, so she's likely working through lunch and dinner and then begging leftovers from the kitchen. Or she's not eating enough. Oh my god, Mars. The snootiness still comes through, but she looks less fun and playful about it than she did when she was younger. Do you go to engineering much? Mars asks. I tried to go talk to Tangent because she never wants to just hang out anymore. Not since she got started working on that big project. Mars snaps her gum. You know about that, right? Or am I just special? Gonna get into a debate with her. Persuasion. Mars would never stoop to using her fists to get her way, but she loves a good fight nonetheless. And yeah, no, she's absolutely gorgeous. Like, they're all very good-looking kids in their own ways. But I actually think that she had a prettier look about her when she was more smiley and slightly less sneery. So that's too bad that she has grown up to be even bitchier than she was before, presumably. You ask her what she would have done differently if she'd been the captain of the Stratospheric when you landed, and her eyes go wide. She launches into a laundry list of shoulda wouldas, and whatever she says she would have done, you offer reasoning for why it wouldn't have worked. That's debatable, they goes. No, I think I'm actually about the right age for this. Look at this face. It looks like about where I am now. Oh, I'm friends with her? No. After a little while of this, Mars is positively invigorated. Wow, you really thought about all this, didn't you? She says, cracking a little smile. You're totally right. It's a lot more complicated than just making decisions and telling people what to do. Thank you. It's so important to have people like you around to keep me on my toes. She cracks her knuckles. Okay, but when I'm governor, I will do so much better than the adults can. I'm actually really impressed. This is actually more maturity than I expected from her. Maybe me doing this is going to turn her into a better governor, because she clearly is, like, from the beginning, it's been clear that she has her eye on that prize. Oh, shoot. I'm going to get a friendship thing with her, aren't I? Well, I guess we're going to do this. Teens. Oh! And furthermore, your attitude toward your elders in general is entirely disrespectful. You find Udicott delivering a scathing reprimand to Mars, who is doing her level best to look like she'd rather be anywhere else. You speak out of turn, you question the council's decisions. If you disagree with an order, you simply do not do it. I could go on. Do you need me to go on? I do appreciate that she's getting in trouble, although it is strange because they talked about, like, the kids are like, she never gets in trouble. But she's so rude to the adults that it's kind of not surprising that she would get into trouble. Mars scowls. No, she replies. Udicott clicks her tongue. I honestly thought better of you, Marzipan, she chastises. You have the sort of natural leadership ability I remember from when I was a girl many years ago. Mars doesn't roll her eyes, but you get the sense it's a close call. You need to set a better example for the other children, Udicott continues. It's okay to have your own opinions, but you kids can't just do whatever you want. You have to follow the rules and respect your elders. I am setting a good example, Mars retorts, stomping her foot. Hello? The only reason we're here is because a bunch of people knew living on Earth was nonsense and decided to do something different. Udicott looks scandalized, but Mars just continues on. Maybe kids should have more authority. We're the ones with the new ideas that will take us into the future. She's not wearing bubble wrap. She's wearing it looks like it's like a translucent or transparent material that's quilted. And yes, Chrono, I was about to say I got distracted by her clothes. But yeah, I am agreeing with Mars. This is the worst thing that's ever happened. That is exactly right, Jellyfish Lightning. To be fair, when I debated her, she was actually really cool about it. Mars is right. In a way, Blue Glass. In a way she is, in a way she's not. She could be learning and growing as a person. Like, this is a good point, though. Like, instead of just, like, I'm smarter and better than everyone else, instead she's like, we need to do things differently. And you know what? I'm 14 and she's a pretty girl. And I'm told that affects the way people think sometimes. So, Mars is right. Yeah, rebellion. See, Mars insists, everyone agrees with me. You might be on Vertumna, but your ancient old brain is still stuck back on Earth. She takes a deep breath and for a moment seems much older. Governor Udicott, we need higher walls and more aggressive farmland clearing, and we need it now. Are we here to stay on this planet, or will we just sit around until the jungle swallows us back up? Okay, so she's like, this is not just like generally, like, the first thing that she says up there, everyone agrees with me, like, that's very, what we know about her. But this right here is her having matured without me realizing it. However, I don't agree with her aggressive farmland clearing, because I think we need to find another way to do things. But we'll try to figure that out. Udicott's mouth opens and closes a few times. Then she puts her hand to her forehead. Both of you, get back to your duties, she sighs. Marzipan, we will talk about this later, in private. Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? That was really interesting. My goodness. Oh my god, what I can't quite tell what his design is, but I actually like that. And yes, she might have a redemption arc of some sort. You catch, oh my god, he's so adorable. You catch Dis on a ridge overlooking the wilderness, bobbing his head along to something playing through his hear speak. He doesn't notice you walk up. He jumps when you tap him on the shoulder and scrambles to turn off his hollow palm. Don't sneak up on me like that, he grumbles, then flops backwards on the grass to look up at you. Man, I was just getting to the good part of the song. He's listening to his emo music or something, or maybe it's like screamo death metal. We'll see. What are you listening to? Just looks away. Just some old music from Earth. You probably wouldn't like it. I can say, try me. You sit down beside Dis and extend your hand to link your hollow palms. Dis stares at you for a few seconds before pressing his palm to yours, and music floods your brain through your hear speak. Guitar.
child you were will not return. The child you were will not return. You fall, but it's
If I wrote music, that's, I think, what I would want it to be like. Exactly. You can kind of see that in some of the arrangements and the one sort of original song that I've ever written, which is the one that's ostensibly a transistor song, but it's really not. The structure of that. Yeah, that was fantastic. So the line that they kept repeating in the chorus was, "The child you were will not return." So I suspect that the lyrics are probably going to be either some of them maybe have to do with this game overall, or it may be something related to Dis. We'll see. Anyway, that was really good. That was really good. I don't know what the singer's first language is, but it doesn't sound like English would be. I would almost say Japanese, but I don't think so. I'm not sure. But it was a really beautiful song. I'm not sure that will be the end credits track. I think it might be something else as a kind of like a bonus if you happen to unlock this bit. Or actually, no, this may not be an unlockable thing. This may just be talking to him at this stage, so everyone gets the chance to hear it. All right. M. Halberstadt. Okay. There were a couple of words that were a little hard for me to understand what she was singing, and I think it's an accent thing, but I'm not sure. So. It's a really gorgeous song, though. I really liked it. All right. Dis takes his hand back and weaves his fingers together, timid. "I listen to a lot of Earth music," he says. "Do you like it?" he asks. All right. So I can either say, "I love this band," or "You listen to this?" Obviously, I'm going to be positive about this because it's amazing. She worked in Night in the Woods. What did she do with Night in the Woods? Did she do sound design for Night in the Woods? So she works on some good games. Earth music, yes. As opposed to fire music. Diz cracks a small smile, relieved. "Good," he says. "It's my favorite right now. I always listen to the same album on repeat. It's comfort music. I really like her voice." He stares into his lap. "Sometimes I feel like the lyrics are about me," he admits. "They're just so deep." Like, my soul really gets this kind of music. This is far and away the most he's ever talked in this game. Also, Chrono, hush, stop. Oh, have I ever talked about how I used to say I self-medicated with music? So I would just listen to the same song over and 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 over again when I was upset. Still do. But haven't been that upset in a few years. It helps me regulate my emotions. It helps me exist with myself and sit in my music, or sit in myself. I would assume so, Blue Glass, although people sometimes looked at me like I was crazy and were like, turn that off, and they would be like, what is wrong with you that you do that? I did actually join a Facebook group for women with autism because a friend of mine was like, Lauren, have you considered? And I was like, kind of a little bit. And she was like, well, I'm in this group. Maybe it'll be useful to you. And I don't relate to everything everyone says there. But there's an entire subsection, I swear. There's like a little sub-community of those of us who are really, really social people whose special interests are in people and understanding social situations, partly as a coping mechanism due to growing up in unstable environments, and partly because we find people really interesting. And so I was like, oh, I can't even use that as an excuse for why not, because it appears to be a type. There's an archetype that I fit. That is one particular flavor of woman with autism. So, and they all do it the same way that I do and talk about it the same way. So I was like, okay, well, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Never been tested, probably never will be tested, but it's fine. What matters is whether you can get what you need to help fill out your life. So if learning about how other people whose brains seem familiar to me find ways to live more fulfilling lives and to manage the things that are difficult and celebrate the things that are delightful about the way our brains work. If that helps me, that's really more important to me than like, for me, that's partly the purpose of a label, is to be like, it's not that there's something wrong with me. It's that I have a particular way of being that other people have too. And also, it gives me tools that I can use to be better at being myself in various ways, which is a thing that I feel like I need in life, because I am a person who always wants to know more tools that I can use to solve problems. I am a problem solver. I am a researcher. I am a doer. So, yeah. Also, people who, apparently, like, especially women or people who are interpreted as women by society, are frequently misdiagnosed with bipolar disorder, especially bipolar 2 disorder, and then a personality disorder and ADHD in the mix eventually. And a lot of times, apparently, that means autism. I have had an incorrect bipolar disorder diagnosis. I have had a personality disorder diagnosis that I have since been told is no longer accurate for me, if it was at one point. And I had thought for a long time that maybe I had worked really hard and kind of put it into remission. But it seems like that might just be the autism, if it is autism, which feels really presumptuous to say that it might be, because doesn't everybody say they're autistic? Like, aren't we all just looking for belonging and finding a way to explain and excuse our eccentricities? I don't know. But I do know that when I streamed Disco Elysium, I got asked several times by people who have watched me for years and people who had never watched me before. Have you ever considered? Because it was the one game that most exposed the way that I think about things and really showcased my social skills and my social weaknesses. So it's no longer just Lauren is good with people. It's suddenly like, oh wait, there are circumstances in which Lauren is good with people and circumstances in which she cannot figure out what someone is trying to say or meaning or what's going on. And there's like a kind of predictable pattern there. It's like, oh, okay. Anyway, so that's the thing. I know I do have a formal ADHD diagnosis. That I have, no problem. Like they gave me that diagnosis in the process of determining whether the bipolar was still correct, and they were like, no, the bipolar has never been correct. I don't know, but I have been gentler with myself about some of my weirdnesses, my eccentricities, like I said, since considering that this might be the case, specifically when it comes to social things, because I've been really hard on myself, like, but I'm supposed to be good with people. Why is it that sometimes I'm just bad with people? Why is it that I'm like super social butterfly in a lot of ways, but if you put me into some environments, I can't talk to anyone? And so I would go to things and be like basically emotionally punching myself in the face afterwards. Like, you went to this to socialize with people and to connect with people and to make friends, and you did none of those. You stood against the wall, staring at the crowd, feeling sick. What is wrong with you? Why are you failing? You must just not be good with people. Like, or you slacker, you loser, like you just let yourself off the hook instead of putting yourself out there. What's wrong with you? You know, the voice in your head is often very unkind. And now I have a bit more patience with myself where I'm like, okay, well, change is hard and new things are hard. And things that are outside of my comfort zone are nearly impossible. So simply going into an environment that is outside of my comfort zone is in itself the stretching. That is the risk. Adding anything such as socializing on top of that is impossible. So the fact that I went there, even if I didn't talk to anybody, or if I talked to people and mumbled and said embarrassing, awkward things and then mumbled and then shuffled away, still okay. I still got my point in having been to a new place. And that has allowed me to have some more comfort with my discomfort as I try new things and go to new places and stuff, which is very helpful because I'm in a new city that's still relatively new, and still needing to come up with a social club or social circle. So like, and I'm also like doing other things, like I'm trying to explore like my Jewish heritage, which I have a chip on my shoulder about. So like there's a whole new community there, which I have a chip on my shoulder about whether I belong with. And they're all very welcoming and inviting, but like I was really scared and had a hard time talking to people, but I did manage to make myself talk to people to some degree. And now I'm like, I'm comfortable and now I can talk to everybody and like I'm getting more heavily involved. I started fencing a couple months ago. I'm so bad at physical activity. It's the HEMA style fencing, so it's nerds rather than sports. It's nerd fencing instead of jock fencing, although even sport fencing is still tends to be fairly nerdy. But like that's a really stressful environment for me, and I didn't talk to people very much while I was first fencing. I talked to people afterwards a bit because I was a bit more comfortable, and I'm like, these are my people. They're all nerds. They're wearing like extra life shirts and stuff. Like, we're fine. But like, I'm giving myself some time as I get more comfortable with the environment. Then I can expect myself to do more socially. And if I go to like a club or a bar or whatever to go to a concert, I can do music, and I can do just fine going to a bar for a show if I'm in a scene that I know and I know people. Otherwise, like, I'm going to be really awkward and uncomfortable because it's a new environment, but I know music, so it's fine. So it's just been interesting kind of trying to like hack my brain that way and having more realistic expectations for myself. So I think that's really good. And also recognizing what is overstimulation, which I picked up as a thing when they diagnosed me with ADHD. I started allowing myself to go sit in the corner of the room at MagFest, for example, or if I need to look at my phone during a concert, I recognize now that that is me self-regulating. And it allows me to have control over my environment, and kind of, again, regulate my feelings and my emotions until I can kind of burn off the excess. But I didn't have a meltdown the past couple of MagFests because that's been since my ADHD diagnosis, at least. And so I tell myself, instead of being like, but I love music, but I have tons of friends around, but I'm friends with the band on stage, but they're playing music I love, but this is my community and my comfort zone. Why am I freaking out? I need to stand here and rock out to the music because my friends are here and people expect me to be here. People want me to be here. If I need to go sit in the corner of the room and look at the floor, I can do that. And I haven't had a meltdown at MagFest since, so it makes a huge difference. Yeah. So it's like, I can give myself permission instead of pushing myself to do things that I can't do and then punishing myself for not doing them. I can give myself permission to not be great at things and to accept why and to find ways to make it work. And then you can also have better techniques for taking care of yourself. Yes, so apparently, like, highly sensitive person, like, because my therapist had actually asked me if I thought thought maybe that was a possible thing, like, years ago, and I was like, that's not really a thing, right? That's just like a woo-woo thing. And she was like, no, Lauren, no, it is actually a thing. Just like you have like an overactive nervous system, basically. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, so that's how the lights can be too loud sometimes. Apparently. But like then the question is kind of like how much of that is being neurodivergent in some other way, and that's a classification. So yeah, it's a thing. I don't know if you can be tested for it. Like I don't know if it's a diagnosis so much as like this is a thing that seems to be happening with people. But I don't think it's a thing you can be tested for. Anyway, we've sure gone off on a tangent here. And there's so many people that this stuff is relatable to that it's very easy to just be like, well, but isn't everybody like this? It seems everybody is like this. But then I remember the many, 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 many times I was growing up that I would get yelled at or get in trouble for things or be told to just deal with it until I learned to just deal with it. And maybe that's part of why I'm struggling so much now that I'm an adult. And also, yes, people who are neurodivergent tend to stick together, apparently, because we get each other, we communicate similarly enough. I think probably neurodivergent people are more comfortable with my tendency to overshare on stream, whereas I think my more neurotypical people are weirded out by it. To be fair, I don't actually overshare everything. I talk about the things that I'm comfortable talking about, which is more than some people would, but not everything, but not the really, really personal stuff. I allude to sometimes, but don't talk about. But yeah, no, it's like when I was first getting frustrated about all the ADHD memes that were so relatable, because I'd had trouble with a lot of those things all my life and gotten in trouble for it. And it would have been great if instead somebody had been like, well, it turns out you're not going to be able to do that thing because you're not wired that way. So let's see if we can find a way to make this work for you. So I love the fact that kids these days have those options coming. And hopefully that'll make their lives easier so that they don't have weird inexplicable problems that nobody can ever help with. But it's funny, the friend who actually introduced me to the women in autism group, the women with autism group, she was like, well, it's not just the social stuff, Lauren, you know, there's also like sensory stuff as well. And I was like, would you like to talk about toe socks and how they were invented by the devil? I hate toe socks so much. My mom and my sister were always like, what is your problem, Lauren? Just wear the toe socks. And I was like, I hate toe socks. And tags and clothing, I would flip out about. And my mom was like, just deal with the tags in the clothing. So I started cutting the tags out, but then the problem was that the material was a little too harsh. So when you cut it, it was like even worse. Because instead of just being a tag sticking into you being unpleasant, it actually poked into you. It was the worst. So the fact that they've started making tag-free clothing is like amazing. Or ways of creating tags that don't bother me. They're located in places that don't press against my skin, or they're really big so they don't register as a tag. Yes. And so I think to myself that, like, maybe these aren't universal experiences because people thought I was weird for them when I was younger. And so I kind of learned to adapt, but it's also not nearly as much of a problem now, I realized, because I just don't buy things that are uncomfortable. I just don't buy clothes. If I try on an outfit and I can tell that the sleeves are gonna, or if there's like a tag and I can just tell, I'm just like that. I don't own that shirt, and it's fine. So when you become in control of your own environment, it turns out you have fewer environmental conflicts. Amazing. I don't ever have to have an overhead light on in my room, ever. Because my room, the lights are off right now, but see, my room has none, which is great. Like that's a plus for me. So they're not on, but I've got lights on my wall. I've got this other light here, but notice it has to point up. I can't have lights that point down. They have to point up because they cannot be in my eyes, or even remotely with the possibility of being at eye level or pointing into my eyes. Like, just that, no. I have lived in places that had overhead lights and been like, no. And I think this is a point of conflict in my marriage because my ex didn't have this problem and would turn on the overhead light, or be like, why don't you have the overhead light on? And I'm like, I hate them. So it's not universal, but it feels common. So some of you perhaps are like this, these are experiences that I don't have, or I recognize and relate to some of these, but not all of these. And that's fine. We all have different brains. But it is really interesting to me that some of these things that people gave me a hard time for so long, are things that other people do too. Yeah, it's an interesting challenge. And like I said, like I have no diagnosis here, at least not for that. But I've been kind of wondering, like, if I no longer hold myself to standards that are not natural for me, and I'm conscious and intentional about which ways I want to push myself and which ways I don't, will I be able to recover from the things that are going wrong with my brain? Also, sorry, Alexis, we got started talking about autism. In my defense, it's because we're hanging out with one of the autistic twins. So, like, it's on topic. But, like, obviously I'm having health issues because of, like, the iron deficiency, the ongoing years-long iron deficiency, which is very common. There is a new website that has a lot of information about that I'm very excited about, but I will have to talk to my doctor about to make sure he knows about it all. But in addition to that and whatever else, and some various traumas of the past few years, both personal and universal, part of me has also wondered, am I perhaps suffering to some degree from what one might term autistic burnout? Or neurodivergent burnout? From pushing myself for a very long time to be, like, normal. Yes, Chrono, it is. You can do some damage to your nervous system and yourself, like, emotionally and probably physically too. If you push yourself to no, chill. It's not an oh no thing. It's not an oh no thing. It's just like take stock. Forgive yourself for the things that you struggle with. And don't you dare make this something else to blame yourself for, Chrono. Or I will track you down. And I will just stand there and point at you like this. You'll just have like this vision of Lauren just like this at you. And for anyone else that applies to, just assume that I'm pointing at you too. Anyway, it does seem to be a thing. So I'm wondering if that's complicating things. So I'm part of me trying, because I have spent a lot of my life pushing myself to do things because I should, and trying to live up to very high expectations, as many of us have. And, obviously failing to live up to expectations. I didn't realize I was a perfectionist until like 6 or 7 years ago. And people were like, I thought you knew. And I'm like, oh no, because I just never even thought to question it. But I kind of wonder if I have more realistic expectations for myself. And I cut myself slack where I can and push myself in places where I choose to or where I know it's necessary. So I accept the necessity of it. Will I recover better with my brain doing more better? I don't know. But it is something that I've been thinking about. So that's one of the things that's been beneficial about hearing other people talk about their experiences like this, has been, well, that's relatable. And here's another perspective on it, and maybe something I can do to make my life easier, or a way in which I can let myself a little bit more off the hook with it. Because like at the end of the day, like you are still responsible for yourself, regardless of your neurodivergencies. Like you do have to try your best to take care of yourself and to live your life. And sometimes there's things you got to do and you have to find a way to do that. And like, for example, we tend to struggle with emotional regulation. Across the board, neurodivergent people tend to. That's why we tend to get misdiagnosed as bipolar or with personality disorders, is it's the emotional dysregulation. And emotional dysregulation hurts us and it hurts other people. And it is our responsibility to find a way to improve that. We are never going to be people whose emotions are perfectly regulated all the time, but frankly, nobody is. But it is our responsibility to find ways to do better and to keep trying to do better. And if we are causing harm to others, especially, it is our responsibility to work to prevent us from harming others. But if we have no tools to avoid harming others that won't involve harming ourselves, then that's the thing to keep working on, because harming ourselves is not, like, we are not obligated to harm ourselves. We in that case, you just need to keep looking for another solution and maybe ask for help. But yeah, it's a whole process trying to person better, you know? And I think in a lot of ways I am a much better person than I used to be, and a much stronger person than I used to be. And I've lost some parts of myself, but I think part of that is I think I lost some of my masking. But people have said that fundamentally, like, they're like, I can see a difference in you, but fundamentally you're still the same person. That was the whole thing with Deltarune Chapter 2's like hour-long introduction of like, by the way, if you haven't seen me since Undertale, it's been a while. I don't know, but it's stuff to think about. And I think we're supposed to think about that when we play through this game. I think, I would say like Dis in particular is not just autism coded. He's actually clearly autistic. And I think Tanges as well. But it expresses itself in different ways with the two of them. So there we go. It's sort of on topic. Sort of. Thanks, Chrono. But yeah, so maybe that's part of why we get along so well, and part of why some people are so frustrated with and annoyed by me. because if your way of, because one of the ways in which neurotypical conversation and neurodivergent conversation differ is the neurodivergent urge to tell a story about yourself to relate. And really, if you think about it, isn't that kind of what I do? Isn't that kind of what this is? I am playing a game, and I am engaging with the game and bringing my audience into the engagement through the storytelling from my own life. Anyway, that was like a realization I had like yesterday or today. So yeah, probably not ever gonna like tell my friends and families. So I think I might be autistic, because of course they're gonna say no. Obviously, they have a very limited idea of what it is, and clearly I don't have any of those problems. And all of the weird quirks and idiosyncrasies that I had when I was younger are gone. I was just a weird kid who got made fun of a lot. Didn't understand how to people. Except when I was too excited and chatty to think about second guessing myself. And then the force of charisma that comes from being like that won over people. But then I'd go back to being really weird. So if you're weird, that's fine. So are we. You just have to learn kind of how to not make other people uncomfortable and why other people are uncomfortable, and then kind of find a way to be yourself within a framework that doesn't step on other people's toes. It's a process. Anyway, Dis. We listened to a really good song. That's right. We were talking about, Chrono told us that listening to the same song on repeat over and over again is oral stimming. And a bunch of us were like, oh, guilty as charged. That's, by the way, where my love of 8 Melodies, the Mother song, that was a song that I listened to on repeat many, many hours. Many, many hours. No, Chrono, I've heard a number of other people say the same thing. Especially like in this community, actually, it just came up. Good night, Whooper. This women with autism community, like they were just talking about that. And I was like, oh yeah, that's relatable, all right. I might be singing 8 Melodies in another context with some friends coming up, but I won't tell you more. Let's go ahead and finish up this conversation. And then maybe I probably should end for the night. Sorry. I kind of went off on a tangent here. I'm not even talking to Tangent. I don't think Tangent's going to be romanceable. She seems really ace, but I think she might be Aro as well. And she could also be a late bloomer is the thing. But if she's ace Aro, then I suppose Solana will have to find a crush on somebody else. We'll have to figure out if she's gay or pan or bi or something like that. We'll see. Anyway, Dis says, but don't tell anyone, okay? It makes me feel better thinking that someone knows my pain, even if it's just a dead earth woman. So I can either say sounds deep, man, or she probably just wrote it for the money. I'm gonna say it sounds deep, man, even though I don't know that this is, he might take this badly or he might take it sincerely. No, he takes it sincerely, good. Dis nods and closes his eyes. Yeah, he replies. I have a lot of time to think, not like everyone else here. Oh, you get custom art for this moment. I was wondering if they were going this way, because when I sat down to like do the palm technology thing with him, he just stared at my character. Well, Solana, honey, what are we gonna do here? I can introduce him to some new music, because my creativity is over 30. Just a little. Or I could hold his hand. Why romance only one sibling? The thing is, I think he might actually reciprocate. Honestly, I was joking. I don't know if I've joked about this or not yet, but I've thought about joking about it. That Solana might be crushing on both of the twins. This moment feels, and honestly, like, I do feel like she and Dis have gotten a lot closer over the past year. And it does seem like he might reciprocate just from his reaction to things. And his moody music boy, nobody understands my pain. Music is clearly important to Solana. And lyrics, writing, poetry, also important. Like, these are things that she understands. These are values that she shares. She's able to go back and forth a bit with the other kids. Like, she and Cal have a friendship. She and Anemone have a friendship. But it's not the same as her friendship with the twins. Tange makes herself difficult to be close to. And Dis does the same in a way, but I feel like the thing is, Tange... What I'm predicting, based on my experience with people here, is that Tange tells herself she doesn't need any form of intimacy, because there are forms of intimacy that are not necessary for her. But probably friendship. There's some level there that she could have an intimate friendship. Dis, I think, keeps up walls, but I think once he lowers that wall, you can get to know him. Because the conversation we've had here is Dis with his walls lowered. Whereas Tange, I think that Tange tries to shape herself into a person who doesn't need other people. And I think that Dis tries to hide himself from other people. In both cases, they are self-protective. Because if you think about it, they're both traumatized kids who lost their mom at a young age. And Tange transitioning caused a rift. And in the case of Dis here, he feels betrayed because he feels like his twin, who was just like him in every way, has rejected being just like him. Whereas Tange feels that him pulling away was a betrayal. And so both of them have had some really, really profound wounds, shall we say. And so I think they both have these ways of trying to protect themselves. But I think with Dis's guard lowered, I think that you'll actually be able to see him. Because he does actually want to be included. Like, he wants to be invited to sit down on the couch and play video games in the room while everybody else is playing a board game together. And occasionally he says something to them or they say something to him. But mostly he's included and he's welcomed without being pulled into things he's not comfortable with. But he still wants to be invited to be into the room. Like, for me, that's come through very clearly. And I've talked about how, like, I know characters because, like, they're in my what's my Rolodex of experiences. And I wasn't sure with this for a while. I was like, this is a tough nut. I can't figure out what to do. No. I know this kid. I've just mostly encountered him closer to this form that we have here. As opposed to when we first were getting to know him, when he was a very young, very scared, very reserved kid. I have somewhat less experience with that. But especially being able to load my saves has helped me figure out a little bit more. So yeah. I think he's probably a disaster boyfriend at this age. I think dating him would not be a great idea, but consider Solana's taste. I think that's what she likes. Cal would probably be a nice, steadfast, reliable, dependable boy without emotional upheaval. But I don't think that's what Solana's looking for. I don't think Solana wants the bitchy rivalry girlfriendhood of Mars. And Anemone is just not her type. I don't know. I think they'll become friends. I think I'm going to befriending Mars despite myself, which is really funny. But yeah, no, Solana's a disaster buy. We'll go with that. And she's definitely like, look, okay, I mean, again, with the caveat that I am a gay woman who exclusively dated men for a very large chunk of my life. I did date a number of just bad news boys. Not like in like motorcycle revving, my mom's gonna be so mad, but like wounded, emotionally unstable, and likely to lash out. So that may be the case here. I don't know though. Dis actually seems like he might not have that tendency, which would be great. But we'll see. We'll see if Solana has that unfortunate experience or not. I want to introduce him to some new music. I think he'd like that, but I think holding his hand might be nice. The way that this moment is set up, the time and the care, there's a custom song for it. This is the first custom illustration we have seen in the entire game, and I wonder if it's because Dis is a relatively, you have to really be like, okay, I'm going to befriend Dis to unlock this. So it's like, this is like a reward for like getting through, or it could be that this is indicating that actually now is the time to flirt, because this feels like the moment to flirt, doesn't it? Like this feels like the right thing to do. I do appreciate that they make it very clear that this is pursuing a romance option. So I don't know if polyamory is an option in this game, and I don't know if the twins would be okay with sharing a girlfriend, but I feel like Tangent is probably Ace Arrow, judging by the way that she reacts, where she's just like, what? Why are you doing that? Okay. Anyway, so let's hold his hand. I feel like that's what Solana would do. I didn't necessarily anticipate it going this way a couple of streams ago, but I think that's where we are. So I think we're gonna have to do that. Let's do that. You reach out tentatively and link just your pinky fingers with Dis, feeling him tense up beside you. He darts you a nervous glance, then looks back up at the sky when he sees you looking back at him. His cheeks go completely red. He doesn't hold your hand, but he doesn't move his away either. That's adorable. That's also, this is so exactly a moment captured. Like, if you didn't have this exact moment as a teenager, you either had moments that this feels just like, or this feels real enough, I think, that you can still imagine it. It's so cute and so real and precise in its imagery. Like, the fact, like, his nervousness, he's kind of like, is this allowed? Is this okay? I don't know what to do about it. And he's flushing. Like, this is a perfectly written moment. So good. And it's very in character. Solana. Okay, well, it is overtime. So much for me not having any stamina, huh? Oh, right. But before I start getting overexcited about getting Solana boyfriends or girlfriends or anything like that, we do have to remember that we are really running out of food. So that's bad. We're gonna have to look really hard for food. But I'm gonna keep trying. When I go traveling outside, I will try to get some foods. But yeah. Okay. That was fun. We had, I think, this is the first truly long tangent that I've gone off on. I feel like I've talked a bit about some of the, like, the lore related stuff when they talk about their history and language and culture and stuff. There have been some rambles about that, but nothing has quite been. I'm going to save this as teens because I think that's still appropriate. That was lovely, though. I really enjoyed that moment. Well, there we go. We almost got Solana killed. She sort of held hands with the boy. The colony might be starving to death. There's some exciting stuff going on here. And I'm excited to see where it goes. This game is just really cool and fun. There's like exciting stuff every time. Like you're unlocking stuff right and left. So are you? And next time we will immediately go outside and go get some heroic stat improvements for the next couple of months outside. It'll be great. It'll be good. And in the meantime, oh, her ability is reduced sleep. Okay, sorry. You're 14 years old and a fast learner. You love to make stuff and your keen eyes can find things other people miss. Cool. Cal. I don't have his birthday relationship dislikes. I have some likes for him. He's adorable. I don't know how to get back to the other. Oh, there's the back button. We'll look at the rest of these. We'll look at the rest of these next week. Remind me that I said I was going to look at the rest of my character sheets. We just saved. All right. Well, thank you all so much for that. I really am enjoying this game. It's really, really fun to stream. And I'll try to get caught up with my videos on YouTube. So, fingers crossed. All right. Good night, everybody. Take care. Bye.